Everybody, like on Smash. I see y'all's been waiting here for a little bit. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Tonight we're gonna stay on topic with the whole issue of child abuse going on in these destructive cults. Man, it's all there's a pattern of behavior here that needs to be examined. You had David Koresh. You had Jim Jones. Who else? There was the Hellbop. What was that? I can't remember the name. Heaven's Gate. There weren't any kids involved there. What got me spurred on this video tonight is one, I heard some of you guys aren't getting notifications, and two, I saw a video of this new prophetess, Crick, and she's out doing these open air healings and shit. And I was watching one video in particular, and this is kind of what triggered me. It didn't trigger me, but in one of the videos I have on my channel, it's real quick. Like, you could see a little kid going to stick fingers down his fucking throat, and then it like pans away real quick and it goes away. So this leads me to believe that there's parents here that are training their kids to act this way. And it's shitty to think that, because at what point do the kids have a say in the way they're being treated with these religious cults? Disturbing to say the least. And that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. Is there's abuse going on in these cults. Paris Pocket Traveler, thank you for being here. We're talking about the child abuse going on in these cults, because it's happening. And nobody says shit about it. Either people are too scared to say shit about it, or nobody wants to talk about it. But again, the reason I'm doing this is because of Crick. Because of that. She's this crazy fucking lady is on the scene now, okay? And she's a whole different... Yeah, Catherine, they have no voice. This needs to be examined. I wonder why the government fucking hasn't... This is, guys, I apologize, this might be the one night where I get political on the channel, okay? Because our government's not doing their fucking job as far as I'm concerned, okay? All the precursors are there. History's shown to repeat itself, right? And we're gonna learn our lessons until we learn them with these cults, man. David Koresh, Jim Jones, Heaven's Gate. You got fucking Scientology out there. You got the 4F Church out there. You got 12. What is it? The 12 Gates or 12. There's another one out there. It's in California. It's kind of like a sex cult. It's a weird cult. But yes, Catherine, the children have no voice in this. It's almost like this cult crap is just shoved down their throat. Okay, we're gonna talk what could possibly precursors for mental health, PTSD, eating disorders, depression, anxiety, what else? Fucking suicidal tendencies, thoughts, who knows? Yes, big churches give money to politicians. That's why the government's saying, oh, we don't want to do nothing about it because we're getting paid by the church. Last time I fucking checked, I don't pay my money to the church. I pay it to the IRS. And the IRS shouldn't be making up the fucking laws for the churches in the first place. It should be the government. But the government won't get involved because it's like money, money, money. The church is a moneymaker for the government. That's probably where the government gets a lot of their hush money, I'm guessing. And you're right, Catherine. Big churches give money to politicians under the fucking table. We're not dumb. I'm not dumb. I know there's dirty money in the government. It's how countries are run, with dirty money. But again, back to the child abuse. Okay, precursors. Let's talk PTSD, all right? These kids are going to come out and be like, damn, my parents had me do some fucked up shit. You know, being drawn into these cults. And what I'm noticing is the mothers. It's the mothers that are bringing their kids and the fathers that are bringing their kids and allowing this behavior to go on. Like, they're subjecting their kids to this type of behavior. I mean, what is that doing? What is that making the kid think? Crick has these kids come up on stage saying, oh, they're possessed and they're full of demons. Like, what the fuck is the kid going to think at that point? They're going to start thinking, fuck, I must be fucking possessed because this lady that I see here that my mom is preaching over, it says I'm possessed, so I must have a demon in me. So it makes me wonder, at what point do do authorities get involved with these churches that are clearly abusing the fucking book, man? Legend lives, I think LA, man. Los Angeles. When you try to call her number, guess what? You can't fucking get through. Go figure. Yeah, I'm sure he did too, Paris. 100%, no doubt. And Legend lives 4F. That's the name of the church is 4F. Dude, this chick is fucking crazy. And I'm not sexist, guys, all right, in any way. I'm just saying, this chick is out in fucking, like, she's out of the fucking ballpark. She ain't even out in right field. She's out of the fucking ballpark. Like, she's another version of David, but, man, she's a failed actress from what I understand, too. I was reading up on her. She did some time in Hollywood, but she's just a shitty actress, so it only makes sense that Catherine Crick would go out and do this bullshit, right? She's an actress. Yeah, crazy as fuck, right? Legend lives. And tonight, what the thing is child abuse, dude. There's child abuse going on in these fucking cults, man. And nobody says shit about it. The government won't get involved. Authorities won't get involved. You know, it makes me wonder. Yeah, they need to go to jail, and they're using religion to fucking get out of jail free card. And the government saying, yeah, it's okay. You guys go ahead and keep doing it. We're not going to do nothing about it. Here's your get out of jail free card. Just give us some more money, and we'll brush everything under the rug. That's how it works, guys. That's how it works. And again, the one night I will probably get a little political, guys, because it's like a big fucking, I won't even say how I want to say it, but it's just a fucking circle jerk, basically, is what it is with the government and religion. It really is. They're all kind of, fucking just screwing each other over. Government screwing us, the church is screwing the government's kind of saying, we don't want to do anything. But if any of you guys have watched the movie Spotlight, that one was about child abuse in the Catholic Church, okay, and how it was covered up by the church. You still have the Royal Committee out of Australia, I believe, that's still doing work on, because the Jehovah's Witness was hiding fucking pedophiles in the church in Australia. And there was a tax exempt law. Thorbrand Nielsen came on and talked about it one night, saying that, the Jehovah's Witness had to disclose who the members were, like who was allowing for the pedophiles to be hidden, and if they wanted the tax exempt write-off. And I don't think that ever went through. Or the Royal Commission, that's what it's called, the Royal Commission. And it's a big deal in Australia. I think it's still going on, and it has to do with pedophiles in the Jehovah's Witness. So abuse, you got pedophiles in there, so you got child abuse, pedophilia, child abuse. You're going to have mental abuse, PTSD. I mean, the list goes on when you mold a child at that age with that kind of manipulation and thought reformation, especially with religion. Man, you're talking extremism with these guys. But Catherine, I'm with you there 100%. They need to be, I'm not saying religion needs to be banished or anything like that, but it definitely needs to be taken a look at with how it's being ran in our country, because it's almost gotten out of control with these mega churches and these mega preachers, right? Especially with the pandemic, it made them all kind of, it exposed them, really. It brought them all out, man. It brought all the people out of the woodwork. And again, yeah, the kids don't have anything. The kids don't have a say in it, whether or not they're there, they can be there or not. And I'm sitting here watching on the Catherine Crick video, this kid's trying to stick fingers down his throat to make himself throw up like he's fucking possessed. Who does that? Like, that's people training their kids to act that way. I mean, I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephews, but I mean, if any of you have kids, I'm sure you wouldn't make them act like that. In Paris, yeah. It's tax business. Oh, Chris Vandermolen. I had somebody else in here because he couldn't stay awake. That's a bummer. Betsick Hobo. Bruce Parkins. And yeah, I don't think David will do any more shit shows, man. What he's doing now, he's actually starting to buy subscribers on his Kingdom of God Global Church channel now, which I don't get. kind of makes me wonder. I'm still under the impression that David's possibly sick, like really sick, like COVID sick maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that, Bruce. I don't think we'll be seeing any more of him. This is his disappearing act at this point, really. What we're seeing is David's disappearing act. He's created too much of a social media shitstorm for him to bounce back from it. What we're talking about tonight. False preachers, child abuse, cult behavior. Yep, cult behavior. Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, this Catherine Crick, she's just, man, she's like a spitting image of David E. Taylor, just a woman. If you guys go on and look at her shit online, it's Legend lives. Did you ever see the movie Equilibrium? Did you ever see that movie with Christian Bale? If you did, I think that's what would happen. Okay, I think that's what could possibly happen. They would just keep running the shit show, like fake shit shows, and just like not let anybody know that he's. Yeah, the movie's dope, right? That one's about thought reformation too, man. About sense feeling control, dude. That movie's dope, dude. Yeah, Christian Bale's a badass actor too, man. You can't go wrong with him. But that's what I think. That's where I think it could go with David. Weekend at Bernie's, yeah. Yep. Where they got him, Catherine. Dude, that's too funny. Yeah, I was thinking about that just the other day. Like, what are the possibilities? And I was relating it to that movie. I was like, well, damn, what if it was like this? Like, hey, something did happen to him, and they just got everybody else fooled right now. Just possibility. Never know though. He's not in jail. I know that. He's not in jail for sure. We would have known. We would have known. There's too many people. Yeah. But he's not in jail. I don't think he's on house arrest. He's just very scared right now, man. Because he doesn't have one, he's got Harold Lewis he's got to worry about paying, right? So that's going to be one thing. He's still got me filing fraud reports against him, so he's got that to worry about still, right? And then he's still got to pay all these houses up. David, you have a lot of money you're still spitting out. So see here. Not a lot of people on tonight. I mean, what do you guys think about the abuse? I was kind of hoping there'd be a little more people on tonight. Some people aren't getting notifications. Still. That's why I ran this Monday Night Live, because some people weren't getting notifications. And after seeing Catherine Crick's shit show the other night, I was like, yeah, no, we need to go ahead and just put this out there on the platform and address it. Because it's happening on, YouTube's allowing it on the platform. They're allowing the child abuse on the platform to be shown. And this is where I get kind of confused as to why, some of these channels and these people haven't been fucking arrested and shut down, is my question. When it's right there in our face. Yeah, see, you don't get notifications, man. My channel is being probably, my channel's ghost banned probably half the fucking time, man. No doubt. YouTube won't support activism. They won't support it. Yeah, it's based off channel content. YouTube will allow David, though, Legend Lives, to run a scam, bro. We've talked about that. It's like Marlon Jones brought it up one night. It's like selling like baby clothes at an abortion clinic, man. It's just counterproductive. It's like they'll allow these scam artists, preacher, just man, just come out and just spew, just hate, dude, and just count like misinformation, like David does. All the shit that he's saying, David. Somebody came forward, man, on the channel. I just want to just recently, somebody came forward on the channel. They had bought his book, and this guy was messaging me and asking me, "Hey, man, if I read this book, will I really see Jesus?" And I had to tell him, like, "Hey, man, sorry, you probably won't." He's like, "Damn, I paid $50 for this book, and I still got like I want to buy more books." But I had to tell him, like, "Hey, man, look, dude, this is a channel that like we're exposing this guy because he's a false prophet, right?" And I was like, "We're not here to make a fool of you, but you're welcome on the channel. And if you're sitting here watching this, I hope you're watching, man. I hope you're here tonight." Um, David is a scam artist. He's a compulsive scam artist. He is uneducated. He's a false prophet. He's an adulterer. He's a manipulator. He's a liar. Um, what else? He's dodging taxes. He's committing fraud. Well, Michelle's actually committing the fraud now because everything's in her name. So when the shit goes down, it's going to be Michelle that's in trouble, not David. I mean, they've opened up LLCs too. What they did was open up LLCs to build mansions and stuff. Okay, that's what they did. Let's see here. Yeah, and it's weird why certain channels you'll get notifications. I don't know why some people here don't. I figured there'd be a little bit more people on tonight, even since I post a notification, but it's still early. But I really wanted to touch on this, man. And Catherine Crick's already been exposed, but I think she needs more attention than what she's got. I sent out an email to Dr. Phil too, just to see, man, just to see like maybe some of these bigger media platforms can start picking up these religious cults and start fucking exposing them. Okay, cool, Catherine, you get the notifications. Yeah, some people don't. Some people don't. I'm always curious why too. That's somebody was saying like, oh, so that you don't overwhelm like the chat log and your channel at the same time. But it's like, I don't know. That doesn't. I think it was Israel #1. It made sense, but at the same time, I don't know. I know people are unsubscribed from the channel without knowing. Come here. Come here, buddy. All right, come here. Let's see here. That's a Monday night. We haven't done a Monday night live in a while. Did a couple of weeks ago, but yeah. I mean, what do you think, Catherine? What do you think as far as the child abuse goes? Is there a pattern? Do you see it with all these other religious institutions and these? Yeah, I didn't think Dr. Phil would touch religion either. I don't think he will. Nobody will touch religion. Everybody's scared of it. Everybody's scared. I'm not though. We can't be because it's like it's like the Matrix, man. It's like a system of control. Like I get it, when it's taught, when religion is practiced properly and not the way you see these religious extremists doing it. I don't know, man. I don't even know why I do this sometimes because I'm not religious, but it's like at the same time when you see the abuse going on, the abuse of power, it's what's the saying? It's a crime for like good men to do nothing, basically. For us to sit by and watch it happen, it's almost a crime in itself for us to not say anything or act against it. So I think that's why I do it, is because I don't see it's fair to everybody else. It's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to the other taxpayers, the system, the people that really need help. Yeah, too many people doing nothing. That's the issue. Too many people are not doing enough. If everybody spoke up against the process, I think more stuff would get done. More stuff would get done with these cults. Like, what's up, Joe Gonzalez? Thanks for being here, brother. If more people would voice their concerns, voice their opinions, it happens, Joe. I think more could get done. That's why I file the fraud reports. I don't want the government to forget what their job is. I have to file my taxes every fucking year. Why do they get to get off scot-free? Not only they get off scot-free, but they get off scot-free with like child abuse and shit like that, and fucking pedophilia and all kinds of shit, you know? That's what I question. Is like with the churches, they can do all. The church has a lot of control in the system, man. And yeah, guys, this is the one night where I'm going to play both sides with the church and the government, all right? And again, it's not to piss anybody off. It's just this is the way I think about it. It's gotten out of control, basically. It's gotten out of control. Our whole system has. Our whole system's kind of gotten out of control. With money, taxes, socioeconomic issues. I mean, look at the church, and still Joel Osteen, that sack of shit. They find over $500,000 locked up in this guy's wall, and there's nothing going on here, right, Joe? Okay, and this is where I wanted to talk about, Joe. You hit it right on the spot. At what point does the indoctrination become abuse? That is my big question. At what point does this indoctrination, like some of the shit you're seeing online is extreme indoctrination. At what point do we say, stop, this is child abuse? At what point would you say stop, Joe Gonzalez? At what point would you say, I'm getting my kid the fuck out of this church? Where would your timeout be like, this shit's fucking bullshit? And you're right, church has too many blind followers, Catherine. Too many blind followers, yep. When I'm seeing kids like sticking their fingers down their throat so they can make themselves throw up, like, dude, that's child abuse to me. Because you're teaching your kid to cause that kind of reaction by doing that physical act, That's what worries me, man. In David's cult, I worry. I worry too about every fucking cult out there that there's kids, and that's the whole thing. That's what we're talking about tonight. In any cult where there's kids, there's most likely going to be some sort of fucking child abuse going on, and the government's not stepping in saying, "Time out, homie. You can't do this anymore." Miley says, "Shut up and scratch my ears, okay?" But yeah, I worry in David's cult big time. Let's see, there's Ashley's kids. Got to figure Debbie Frazier's kids. Katie. There's a lot of younger people in there. Night of Night. What's up, brother? Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. Talking about child abuse tonight in these cults, man. At what point does the indoctrination become abuse? And I'm reaching out to you guys. This is the question tonight. What point does the indoctrination become child abuse? Let me go ahead and post it. Oh yeah, his new cult name sucks. KOGGC, Kingdom of God Global Church. Yeah, he's buying subscribers on that channel now. Well, I'm just Night of Night. I'm talking in general, not just with David. I'm talking in general. Yeah, when David's involved, fuck yeah, I'd be like, child abuse, get the fuck out of here, dude. Cut. Go. We're leaving. Be like, we gotta go. That's... Yeah. Like what I was seeing on Catherine Crick, like that chick needs to be shut the fuck down too. Right away. I'm gonna be making there's some people over in the UK and shit where she's trying to go. And Amsterdam and Ireland, I think. I'll double check her schedule. But if she is, nah. Maybe I should do that real quick. Like this chick's. Oh, it's called the 5F Church, I'm sorry. Okay, so she's going to Louisville, Dubai, Dallas, Netherlands, Austin, Yoakum. Yoakum, Texas isn't too far. I looked it up, and it's some fucking podunk town with like 5,000 people. Fucking weird, right? Denver, Knoxville, Tennessee. And then every Sunday in California, apparently. 5F Church is when she's live. Let's see here. Yes. Hey, Joe Gonzalez, go on that first Catherine Crick video. Yeah, when you see him outside, you gotta be real sharp on the eye, dude. You could see the kid going to stick his fingers down his throat, and then like it cuts off, dude. Like they edited it out, dude. But you could see the kid. He's like going like this to stick fingers down his throat, and the kid couldn't have been 5, 6 years old. I'm not lying, bro. Like I paid attention to detail in these videos, man. I have to because this is the shit that I'm seeing, and nobody is talking about. Yeah, she needs to be brought up on the fucking mantle right fucking away, dude. That's what I think. 100%. Yep. Having little kids pretend to fucking... Yes. I'm not lying, Catherine. I'm not lying. Had they not edited that part out, you probably would have seen the kid stick his finger down his fucking throat. I'm not lying. And it was 2 fingers. He was like this. Not lying. And it's on my channel. It's the video of Catherine Crick. It's the one outside, and it's in the bottom left corner. You'll see the little kid like kind of kneeling down, and then you see him go like this, and then it's edited out. It's cut out. So it's, yeah, Joe, that's what I'm wondering. Like, people are allowing this behavior, are teaching their kids this behavior in these religious organizations, which are cults. Catherine Crick is a fucking cult, okay? Anybody who out there is watching this that think Catherine is a fucking prophetess or whatever, she is a cult leader by definition. She will take you nowhere. And everybody she has there is paid actors too, all right? All those people you hear screaming and flopping around on the floor like a fish, those are paid actors. Everybody. They travel around with her to fucking Grandois and shit with her. And it's very disturbing. And that shit was out in public, out in the open. And it's like, nobody says shit about this? I would love to fucking show up at one of those. Yes, it's abusing kids. These religious extreme groups are abusing kids. And this is what I wanted to talk about tonight, Joe Gonzalez. I know it's a tough topic, man. I don't even have kids, but I'm seeing the abuse happen, and it's at what point? They shouldn't, Catherine. These parents shouldn't have kids. At what point do we say time out? Stop what the fuck you're doing. You guys are done here. Break this fucking group up. Get out of here. It's sketchy because this is... Once you get the kids tied up in these religious cults, man, it's like, then you just fucking mold them like fucking dough. Do whatever you want with them. That's what David Koresh did. David Koresh started them young. What do you think David does? What do you think Catherine Crick's doing? Already have been, Joe Gonzalez. You can't even get a hold of her fucking phone number. Can't even get a hold of her. You won't be able to get a hold of this one. She's based out of LA, California. So that's where her home base is. There's some people out there, and yeah, it's all right. I'm with you, Joe Gonzalez. Let's do it. Let's do it. Her cult needs to be brought to light too, right away. Because of what just that little thing with the kid choking himself. That was my trigger. May not seem like a lot to some people, but to train your kid to fucking do that, That's pretty fucking disturbing in my opinion. Who that is teaching your kid like self-harm. She broadcast. She broadcast. Yeah, she broadcast live. I was on her live the other night fucking chopping it up. Yeah. I called the fucking cops on her because of what I seen, man. I called the police in Mission, Texas. They're not gonna go do anything about it though. They won't do anything. They didn't give a shit what I was saying. Catherine Crick, yeah, she's a little bit bigger than David, that's for sure. She's a little bit bigger than David, but she definitely needs to be fucking exposed. The abuse there is very evident. You can see it. 100%, man. Especially with the kids. I'm telling you, watch the videos of her with the kids and shit, man. It's some very questionable shit going on with this woman. And the thing is the parents are bringing these kids to these gatherings. Damn well, I wouldn't be bringing my kid to anything like that, man. It's sad, dude. And this is, what point do you consider this child abuse when the child has no say in it? I mean, these kids already don't have a say in it, right, Joe? Catherine, they don't have a say in it. They can't say, oh, well, I'm not going to go. No, you're fucking 5 years old. You're going with me to this. Melvin, they're in my channel, brother. They're in my channel. And they're Catherine Crick's most recent videos, man. Just go through and watch them, man. She has a website, yep. Look up Catherine Crick. It's like the 5F Church or 4F Church or some shit like that. She has a website. She's got a website. Yeah, Melvin, thanks for being here. I don't think I've seen you in here before, man, but thanks for being here tonight. Or maybe I haven't, it's just been a while. But thanks for being here, man. She posts on YouTube, dude. She posts to YouTube. That's where I found the fucking video with the kid sticking his finger down his fucking throat, man. On YouTube. A couple days ago. The day I posted it was the day I found it. I was like, nope. Posted because of what I saw, man. Marley's my boy, man. Everybody loves Marley. I love my boy. He's an old man. But he's chilling, man. Thanks. Appreciate that. He said, thank you, Melvin. He said, thank you. Thank you. Oh, fivefold ministry. So, fall far from the fucking tree, David? Nope. Marley likes to live stream, too. You know what I can't do is take selfies of him, but he'll fucking sit here on camera with me and fucking live stream with you guys. Yeah, she has some nerve, right, Joe Gonzalez? To do that. Yeah, she's going to get exposed. She's been exposed, but again, nobody's doing shit about it. There's child abuse going on here. And the authorities aren't saying shit about it or doing shit about it because they're too fucking scared. Well, it's the church. We don't want to touch them. What happened in fucking Gwen Shamblin's church? There was child abuse going on there and a kid ended up fucking dying. Right? If anybody saw that documentary about Gwen Shamblin, they were doing some fucked up shit to kids there. And then the parents ended up getting fucking hemmed up for murder. Killed their own kid, man. Yeah, she's another narcissist. Joe Gonzalez, she's a failed actress. She's a failed Hollywood actress. Go figure, right? Go figure. Failed Hollywood actress turned fucking prophetess / narcissistic apostle / faith healer. Yeah, Joe Gonzalez, I'm trying to think of how to go about that avenue. I really am, because child services is going to want to fuck with it either because it's religion. But the fact that there's fucking self-harm going on. Yeah, she's a bad narcissist. David's bad too. But I think I'm thinking she's got like a power complex, like she thinks she's untouchable too. You know? I'm with you there. Child services needs to be aware and they need to be involved somehow. 100%. You got parents holding their kids down on stage and this lady's fucking telling them they're possessed and shit. What does that do for the child's psyche at that age? Guys, I'm an education major, okay? I studied fucking childhood psychology. I had to. Extensively. I was going to teach high school. I was going to teach high school, man. I had to teach all the way up through. Thanks, Melvin. Appreciate you. Yeah, this was the throwback shirt. This is my original channel shirt. What's a HID complex? Oh, a God complex? Yeah. Yeah. Well, she claims to be a prophetess. Okay, and when I went on the live chat and said no woman should be a prophet, they're like, oh, it's a prophetess, and you haven't read the Bible in this part. I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. You're all full of shit. You know, I ended up getting kicked off the chat and put in timeout and shit. But I went in there and told him, I was like, man, you guys are scary. I even told him in the chat, I was like, hey, man, I just reported this woman to fucking CPS, man, the Child Protective Services, for what you guys are doing. You guys are abusing kids right here. And, yeah. I'm going to keep reporting her. I don't like what she's doing. She's very dangerous. She's getting up there with their people's kids and shit, telling their kids are fucking possessed. All right? Sorry, don't fly. Teaching kids to stick their fingers down their throat and shit. Do my boy. Do my boy. My boy. Yep, so it begins. I'm not going to stop fucking with David, but Catherine Crick's on the burner now too. 100%. This one's going to take mass effort. 100%, man. I'm not going to be able to do this alone. Stay anonymous, guys. Stay anonymous. You guys want to do back burner work too on these organizations? You have every fucking right to, because there's some weird shit going on with these guys, okay? 100%, man. That's why I do this, is because, you know what? That's a good question. Does she file taxes? Does she file taxes? That is a damn good question. We could look it up. We could find out. Don't take much. I'm just trying to think where the fuck she came from all of a sudden. It's like, bam, Catherine Crick. But no, she's been exposed on some other channels already. So it makes me wonder, like, why nobody's... That's what I don't get, man, is why our authorities, like, why our government hasn't manned up to these situations and got involved and said, nope, you guys are done doing what you're doing with these mega churches. You're gonna start fucking paying into the system. You've had your fucking free ride long enough. You're gonna now contribute back all the fucking greed that you've just taken from the people. I think that's fair enough. You know what? People bring her shit, you know, but I haven't heard her beg for money yet, but it headed that way. It's a fucking prosperity ministry. It's a cult. Of course she's gonna start begging for money. I haven't seen her yet, but this one chick said she had like tetanus and lockjaw, and then all this other crazy shit. Said she hadn't eaten for 6 months and all this weird shit, man. I'm like, yeah, if you didn't eat for 6 months, you'd be dead. All right. But what she does, Joe, is she does most of her services like out in the open. I don't know if she's got like a set church. Not sure. Yeah, what she does to kids is enough. That was enough for me seeing what she was doing. The kid sticking his finger down the throat, that got me, dude. That was it. It was that one little action that I noticed and said, nope, no, can't have it. There's kids involved now. There's kids involved. And it just shows that even though these cults are doing this shit on social media, YouTube is still allowing the behavior. YouTube is allowing it by allowing the platform, by allowing these religious fucking extremists to operate. And yeah, Catherine Crick, man, she's something else, man. That one scares me. That one scares me a little bit. But I don't think she's gonna do anything dumb. It's like she could turn out to be another Gwen Shamblin, you know, end up with a fucked up hairdo and just go down in a fucking flaming jet into a lake or some shit, you know. But she's definitely not biblical, definitely not educated like David. Yeah, the screaming, right, Joe? The screaming of those noise, that is beyond, that's like, that's what I mean, dude. and there's kids there. Parents are bringing their kids to these fucking weird cult organizations. Call me coy, man, but I don't know. It seems kind of weird. Oh my, that's kind of weird, right? Like that one chick sitting on the ground screaming. I was like, whoa, dude. It was like it was too forced, you know. Like that was a forced fucking scream. Like her sitting there, like screaming at the top of her lungs. You could tell. It's like for people to put on that kind of show in front of kids, man. It's like that. You want me to choke you out, motherfucker? Okay. So who we got? Who? Tell me where you're watching from. Who we got in here? There's 11 people watching. Where you watching from? Who we got? Joe's been pretty active tonight. Everybody else got quiet. Melvin, you still here, Melvin? Yeah, big time acting, and that's what these. That's what they. It's like I'm sure she has her paid actors too, no doubt. She's got her paid actors. I'm in Texas. That's where I'm watching from. That's where I'm broadcasting from. Deep in Texas somewhere. Israel #1 calls us Ruby Ridge right here. He calls us Ruby Ridge. Shout out to my boy Israel #1, Bedsick Hobo. VA Beach, right on, Melvin. Cool, man. Good to have you here, Melvin. Appreciate you dropping in on a Monday night. This was like, I usually don't go live Monday, Melvin. It's usually Fridays, but some people are getting my notifications, man. I'm originally from California, Catherine. originally from California, Long Beach. I was born in Long Beach. But I grew up in like the Sierra Nevadas and shit. I grew up in the mountains. My boy. Makes you wonder how it's all funded. Right? Where's the money coming from for her to fund all these little lavish trips? I mean, she's gonna travel. I mean, she's obviously got donors, 100%. So she got to be filing taxes. Time to start digging apart her taxes. The Gunshine State in Texas, yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. It sure is. You know what? For all the guns that are here, it's surprisingly like, you know, Chuck Wood, what's up? You know, the town I live in is country town, man, big time. I don't know. A couple months ago, I was driving by the gas station. Some idiot out there shot himself by accident. Okay, but when you shoot yourself by accident, it means you were playing with your gun, or you were doing something with it you shouldn't have been doing with it, right? The guy's okay, but it was a negligent discharge, and he shot himself in his hand. So, whatever he was doing, he wasn't being very smart about it. He wasn't being very smart about the way he was handling his gun. Dude was all right, man. I mean, he just learned his lesson, I'm sure. I like Texas too, man. I love America, dude. I don't love any one state more than the other, dude. I love my country, man. This is our country. We gotta love it. You know. I'm sure I could go up to Chuckwood, St. Paul, Minnesota. Love, you know. I see a lot of beekeepers I follow on my other channel are from Minnesota and up in that area. You know, a lot of the guys I listen to and have learned from are up in that area on beekeeping. And I love Texas, man. Texas is awesome. Texas is awesome. California's great, but fucking taxes are ridiculous. People are kind of snobby, kind of overrated, really. I like the country, man. I like living in the country. I like where it's quiet, calm, peaceful. I hate going to the city where I'm from. If I don't have to go to the city, I won't. I'll go to these little country towns closer and do my shopping and shit. I will not go to the city. Marley says, I don't like to go to the city either. Okay. But you guys have any questions about tonight's Israel #1, my boy down in Mexico? What's up, brother? Hit that like, man. I was just thinking about you, man. I gave you a big shout out just a minute ago. Israel number one, my boy. My boy Blue. Riley says, hey, what's good, Israel number one? It says, how's the margaritas? My boy Israel number one down in Mexico telling everybody about David E. Taylor. And everybody down in Mexico is laughing at him. Laughing at David E. Taylor. I have a good conversation with Israel number one. That's good. Chris Cam, what up? Good to have you here, brother. How you been, Chris? My girl said, hey, I got my barber riled up about David E. Taylor. Oh, man. Israel number one. Tonight's topic. Child abuse in these cults, in these religious organizations. Yes or no? Since you're here and you have knowledge on these types of things. At what point, Israel number one, does it become child abuse? In your opinion? That's what I'm asking myself. At what point the parents are bringing the kids to these cults, Israel number one. The one I'm focusing on, it's commercial Chuckwood. Where it's the parents that are bringing the kids to these cult meetings and shit. But the one I'm following recently, Catherine Crick, man, Israel number one. Ah, okay, that's a good point. When you give your parenting up to the group, yep. Physically is mental abuse, yeah. Okay, and what kind of mental, like what kind of fucking? Okay, think. Yeah, Fivefold is next. Catherine Crick, you're next, man. I'm coming. Beware. Chris comments like the physical abuse, mental, no doubt. David Koresh was what he was. How do you say? What was Ghislaine Maxwell doing to those grooming? Right, David Koresh groomed the kids from a young age. That's what these cults are doing. Like with these kids, when the parents bring them, they're starting to groom those kids right away. Even grooming the parents to teach the parents how to groom their children. And watch again, Israel number one. Watching Catherine Crick, yeah, Daisy 73. If you guys are tracking with me, crazy. That lady needs to be on the fucking mantle, big time. Yeah, Crick is insane. Yeah, and I'm with you too, Israel. It's like once you get the family involved, it's kind of like a domino effect. It's a domino effect. It's like once the pastor can manipulate the parents can manipulate the kids, and then the kids, yeah, okay, yep. So at what point do Daisy 73? You guys know I don't like to get political here, but this is like the one night where I am because it's like the government almost isn't doing their job. At what point does the government get the authorities get involved? Say no, you guys. This is no more. Yeah. Yep. Daisy 73. Imagine you're 7 years old, your mom, dad, uncles, and aunts are in there, and you have nowhere to go. Israel number one. That story is similar to yours, right? Brainwashed parents, yeah. Scientology, they give up their kids and shit. Yep. I couldn't imagine being 7 years old and being stuck up in a place like that, man. My parents let me figure out religion on my own. I just had a talk with my mom about it today. And we had a family member that got real ill, pulled through, but their faith was very strong. They had deep religious roots, not culty and shit. They had a strong foundation of faith, right? And I believe when you have a strong faith in what you believe in, and it's the right faith and it's the right way, you're gonna fucking pull through anything, man. That's just my opinion on faith. Um, but yeah, man, it's just the fact that these people are using faith to fucking fuck these kids up, man. Fanaticism, yep. Right. So, what point does the government get involved and say no, we can't allow this anymore? Oh, Daisy 73, my heart to you. My heart to you. I'm sorry. Hey, anytime you want to talk, you hit me up offline, okay? Anytime you just want to jam and just talk, you give me a call, okay? Or you fucking text me or what the fuck ever. All right. Yeah, my parents lived for us too. You know, the care, the love that I saw our parents give us, the discipline, the accountability. That's the one thing I had to call and thank my parents for a few weeks ago because of that kid that fucking killed his parents, Chandler Halderson, because his parents cut him off financially. It's like, man, I'm glad my parents weren't pieces of shit, you know, or my parents held us accountable for our actions. You know, I'm glad I have parents like that. I'm thankful for that every fucking day, man, because we could go through this life with shit parents that don't give a fuck and leave you hanging in the wind, man. So, thank you, parents. Thank you, mom, dad, parents. Yeah. Okay, FLDS, man. Warren Jeffs own the police and local government. Sam, Israel number one. Um, we were talking about that earlier. It's like the church pays the government. It's like that's kind of it's like maybe that's where the government is getting their money for their little dirty private wars, okay? You know, that's just my opinion. The church brings in so much money, especially the mega churches, Israel number one, and you know that. We know that. How much money these mega churches are bringing in, and probably they're washing it through the government's pockets. It's like almost the government's dipping into the church, and then they're also dipping into the taxpayers. They're double dipping, double dipping into everybody's pockets. Is it fair? Fuck no, it's not fair. If I double dip, Uncle Sam comes after me and takes my money back. Yeah, dude, I've looked into C.org and it does. It really makes your heart ache, man, when you hear, man, when you start hearing the stories of some of these people, man. It's, same with David's Cult, man. There's backstories of people in David's Cult, dude, and they're all fucking heartbreaking. They're all heartbreaking. And again, our government doesn't do shit. They let the church launder money, but if I fucking miss 20 fucking dollars on my IRS W-2 and shit, they come after me for fucking interest. Which is why I'll file fraud reports still. But tonight we're talking about abuse, specifically child abuse, and it does happen in these Christian and churches and these religious organizations. Gwen Shamblin, it happened there. It happened with David Koresh. It happened with Jim Jones. The 12 tribes, there's fucking child abuse going on there. Yeah, it's the thousand. You do Chuck Wood, dude. Good point. The 1,000 yard stare, just kind of fucking out there, like, you know, they're out there. Yep, I'm with you there, man. It's like they're not empty. It's like they're almost just they're cult bots, man. They're cult bots. That same with the ones in Catherine Crick's fucking cult, man. Catherine Crick isn't good. She's another antichrist that needs to be exposed right away. You guys check her videos out, man, and y'all be the opinions on yourself. And yep, I watched that documentary too, Chris Com. I watched that documentary. It was a good one, man. All those people, man, they had that stare in them. They were like lost, man. Had a 1,000 yard stare to them. Yeah. That's what I think with David's cult. They all know it's bullshit, but they're choosing to believe it anyways. Even though none of them have ever seen David walk on water, heal people out of hospitals, wheelchairs, any shit like that, I bet you could ask 90% everybody in there. They've never seen David fucking walk on water, electricity powers, or heal people. Bullshit. Bullshit. And yeah, I'm with you guys, man. It's sad. It's like, why doesn't the government just shut these organizations down, man? They know what they're doing. The government knows, but they don't do anything about it. Oh yeah, Heaven's Gate, dude. Chris, yeah, that one was tough, man. That one didn't have kids in it though. That one didn't have kids. There were young people, but not kids. David's cult, there's kids involved. Catherine Crick's cult, there's kids involved. 12 Tribes, there's kids involved. Jehovah's Witness, there's kids involved. Catholic Church, there's kids involved. List goes on, man. There's kids involved in all these cult organizations, and they know the abuse is there. You know, if nobody comes forward though with it, it's like the abuse will continue. Yeah, no, yeah, that's the thing. He claims all this shit, but oh boy, everybody fails to see this. You know, well, David, if you do all this stuff, why wouldn't you want somebody to see that? That way, it could be proven and it could be taken seriously. That's why nobody takes you serious, David, is because you say all this crazy shit and you don't prove it. Dude, Chris Com, that's again, this is where I got it. I'm playing both sides tonight. You're absolutely right. The church is on the government side, and the government wants the church on their side because that's going to be a majority vote for whatever party. And I won't take sides, man. It's either Republican or Democrat. It's going to take a side. There's religion on both sides of the aisle, man. And it's both religious extremism on both sides, no matter which way you look at it. You're going to have Catholics, Christians, Lutherans. You know, it's not going to... The Senate is, I'm guessing, a mix of religion, you know, but mostly white Protestant Christians, right, that want the church on their side. Yeah, David, where's the videos of you healing cancer? Yeah, imagine you could raise taxes or get a corporation or church to slip you some lobbying funds under the table. That's Israel number one. Remember Thor Brynjolfsson brought up that point. He was like, dude, you're opening up accountability. And he was like, if you open up accountability on the church, you're going to have to open it up on the government too, because the government is no doubt taking payments from the church. You know, 100%. That's what Thor Brynjolfsson had brought up. And again, I watched Gwen Shamlin's documentary today, just for shits and giggles. And one of the guys was saying, who was the guy who said, if you want to get rich in America, start a religion, not a church, a religion. Yeah, it's leading away from Christ at DEFCON 1. Yeah, 100% Chuck Wood. They do. And this is where the government needs to regulate this shit, you know? Like, they can't allow these religious extreme churches to run in America, man. We weren't built on extreme religious extremism. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard said that, Matthew Moore. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, brother. Pop up out of the woodwork, man. How you doing tonight? So yeah, L. Ron Hubbard said that. And it's a true story, man. You want to get rich in America? Start a religion and scam everybody. Call yourself a prophet. Riley says, I am a prophet of Marley. He said, don't touch my feet. Thor Brynjolfsson, what's up, brother? Yeah, Israel number one. I could open a church of freeballing and get a government grant as charity. Yep. See you, Joe Gonzalez. Appreciate you being here tonight, Joe Gonzalez. We'll be in touch, man. We're going to work on Catherine Crick, man. She's next. Fuck Joel Osteen. Catherine Crick's way more extreme than Joel. Joel's got his day coming. Good to have you here, Brynjolfsson. Good to have you here. I was just talking about the conversation we had about how the Royal Commission up in Australia. Tonight we're talking child abuse within the churches, Thor, because we had talked about the Royal Commission and how Australia wanted the Jehovah's Witness to disclose who the pedophiles were, like how they were hiding people, or basically the process of how the church was hiding people, right? And so tonight I wanted to kick off with, I found somebody just recently named Crick, man. And there's definitely child abuse going on in this cult organization of hers. So yeah, I definitely mentioned you because, we had a good conversation about that, about the Royal Commission. Hillsong? Enlighten me, Matthew Moore? Hillsong. Oh, okay. Science fiction already holds the record for most books published. Okay. Okay, Matthew Moore, that's cool. This is my other dog, Marilyn. The other one was Marley. This is Maryland. They always like to bother me right when I'm live streaming to tell me to come take them outside, even when I take them outside earlier to go to the bathroom, they don't go. This is Marilyn. She's my little girl, though. So, yeah, Matthew Moore, Chris Com, Thor, yeah. Definitely there's abuse going on with some of these cults, man. And the thing, Thor, I was kind of getting at is why the government doesn't get involved when they know there's child abuse going on within these cult organizations. Okay, that's enough. You guys always do this. Go. I know, but they always do this shit, man. They always do this to me, like when I'm like live streaming. They get annoying on me. Marilyn's sitting right here just fucking staring at me, too. Sitting staring up at me like this, hey. No, out. 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 Enough of that. Okay. They can wait. I've seen Marilyn hold her potty for like 3 fucking days, so I know she can wait. Yeah, you can hold publishing records all day long when you own the publishing company. Chris Com, was he like a cult, like a cult leader kind of guy? Hillsong? They're still there, Chris Com? They're still there. Ah, oh, fucking spam. Fuckers. 2 the one night. Yep. Other night I had like fucking 5 get fucking lit up all of a sudden. Yep. Bot. Yeah, we start getting bots on your channel. Yeah. The Russians are attacking. Maybe she's like a Russian mail order bride, man. Who knows? David was right. But yeah, Chris the 2 blondes at Kayla and Kelsey Klein, man. Dude, one of them had they're beautiful ladies, man. One had a makeup channel that was doing really well, and then she ends up in the fucking cult with David, man. Like, what the fuck, man? That's like bullshit. Like, she could have been doing so good with her makeup channel. She probably could have been fucking monetized with millions of fucking followers by now. But instead, she's... Yep, Gwen Shamlin had a crazy weight loss cult before she died. Yep. Thor, with you there. Had. Chuck Wood, Israel #1, what do you think? You think we're ever going to see David again, brother, or what? I don't think we're going to. Yeah, they did. Crick. Kelsey and Kayla. I think that's her name. Kelsey and Kayla Klein. Yeah. The Klein sisters. Yep. Kathleen's the mom. Then there's the sisters. And they're all in there together. They're all in that cult together. David's no doubt probably like sleeping with all of them. I'm not dumb, David, okay? That's the one thing you value most, David, is women, money, and power. Yeah, his ministry's been thoroughly destroyed. It's beyond repair, but you know what he's doing? He's buying subscribers on his other channel. Yep, he's got to pop out sooner or later. If he doesn't, like, he's gonna be broke. Like, he's got the stage down in Florida still that's not finished. Like, what the fuck, dude? Yep, his ministry has been thoroughly destroyed. Over many times. I think that where David's disappeared. I think he's on his disappearing act. Yeah, he's gonna have to have funds coming in some way. I don't know if he's monetized on YouTube or not. You know, I don't really give a shit because he's not gonna make a lot. He's not gonna make enough to support his lifestyle. He's got to have donor money coming in from somewhere else, 100%. If not, it won't work out for him. He's not liquidating assets. No, not yet. Not yet. When he starts liquidating assets, I know he'll be broke, but he hasn't liquidated anything yet. And most of the houses he owns, but he's got to pay taxes on them still. Chuck Wood, think how much it cost to make 3 of those fucking mansions, man. Todd Bentley, that piece of shit. Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Todd Bentley's a clown, too. He's back now. Maybe that's what David's going to do. He's shamed. He's going to apologize, and now he's going to try and make some kind of big revival comeback. But no, one of our group members said the 2 trailers are still sitting out in the JMMI part in the fucking cult headquarters building, and all the decals are just getting sun damaged. So David wasted money to have all those fucking decals put on the truck, and they're just sitting there getting damaged by the sun now. Yep, minions work for free. Some come from money, yes. And David's no doubt milking those people for 100%. But I would like to think that some of those people like fucking cut him off financially at some point, saying, "I ain't give you no more of my goddamn money. Fuck you, you're crazy." It'd be nice if there was somebody there that's willing to come forward and just spill the beans. Yeah, bankruptcy again. That's a good point, Chuckwood. 3 mansions plus his eating habits, his calorie intake. I mean, they should probably just build a McDonald's right in his mansion, you know. Then he could have all his little cult concubines working there serving him Big Macs and fries. And then he won't have to pay anybody to work, you know. He'll just have his volunteers go back and flip him some Big Macs. One-time use. Yeah, he always ends up not paying. Like, that's the thing. David probably hasn't paid for any of this shit that he's got his name under. He doesn't have anything that's paid for. He probably hasn't sunk a penny of his own money into this damn scam. I don't think he has. He's done the least amount of work for the most amount of money. And he chose to use religion and scam people. I've seen his channel. I don't like it. I don't think he's that funny. I tried to watch it, but it's just I don't know. Maybe my humor's not dry enough. I don't know. Everybody wants a piece of David Taylor. Yep, he does. Yes, he does. He's food stamp fraud. Yep. Man, I'm wondering how much money got tied up in the court case too, Chris. You know, like how much money, man? 4 years. 4 years, man. They've been fighting that. They fought that case. And somebody brought up a good point. What if David doesn't pay, if the conditions of the court is he has to give back the residential center? What if he does? What if he fails to pay Lewis, and that's part of the condition, he has to give back the residential center? Plus the $500K. He's got to give everything back. I don't think he's going to pay it either, dude. I don't think he's going to pay it either. I think he's sitting back trying to figure out how he's going to pay it. That's what I'm thinking. Because it's going to be a big court order, man. That settlement, whatever it is, it's going to be a big one. It's not going to be something small. It's not going to be something small. Somebody's going to pay out big. And I'm with you there, Chuckwood. I don't think David has any intention of paying out that fucking court order. That's when shit can get real serious for him. If he doesn't pay out the settlement amount, starts blowing off the courts again. I mean, when the judge heard the case was settled, he was excited because he's all, damn, this case has more gray hair than I do. You know, he was like, pretty much like, fucking finally, you know. But I don't think David has any intention of paying that. He's gonna milk it again until as long as he can. I'd love to speak to Harold Lewis, man. I don't think he's gonna call me though. He doesn't want to talk to me. I'm probably a simp compared to him. Harold Lewis is well off, man. From what I understand, man, he's got a good career. He's in like sports and shit like that. He's in the sports industry, and you know, I would just love to talk to him to find out, you know, like what it was like to deal with David through that whole court case, man. I could only sit here and imagine and speculate. I can only imagine it was even more of a shit show than his actual deposition. You know, Catherine, that had crossed my mind too. Harold Lewis, he could probably be a shady fuck too. Wouldn't surprise me. What idiot, okay, let's put it this way. What idiot would sign a deal with David in the first fucking place on a shady ass fucking house deal? You know, the only reason somebody would sign a deal like that is if the buyer couldn't get a fucking bank loan. Same thing with your stage, David. You could have had your stage paid off. You could have had your stage paid off, David, but you couldn't pull a loan to pay it off all at one time. So now it's just sitting down there collecting money. Yeah. So yeah, why would any like the lease to buy, right? That is an actual deal. You can buy and sell houses like that with a private seller. You get your own lawyers involved, have them drop the contracts. You can buy houses like that. If you own the title and the deed and all that other shit, you can do it. 100%. There's nothing saying you can't. Nothing says you can't go privately, have lawyers drop the contract. But again, Harold Lewis is probably an expert in contracts because he's like a sports writer or whatever. So I'm thinking Harold Lewis had the upper hand on these contracts with David. But again, I would never want to sign a contract anything with David. It's just, yeah, David played him. Yeah, it's almost like David played him for a lot of money too. But David got fucking played too, though. I mean, he ended up with the residential center, but now he's got to pay taxes on 3 big parcels. 3 big parsonages he's got to pay taxes on. Well, 2 of them. One he can write off. But all these mansions are under the Kingdom of God Global Church now. Man, I hope he does default on one of the. I hope he does default on the court order. I'm counting on it. I'm still getting the court updates. I'm still subscribed to that. I'll still know. We'll still know. We'll still know whether or not David's paid it too. Because the case will remain open until the settlement's paid. It has to be paid by July, I believe. And David's already saying he's going to do like a July 22nd and 23rd, like this big revival crusade. Chris Calm, the residential center court order, that whole case that he's been fighting with Harold Lewis, Chris Calm, that was settled out of court. David's going to have to pay Harold Lewis. 100%, dude. Harold Lewis is the one that broke the contract. David was the one that breached the contract. And what I heard originally, okay, I don't know if it changed, all right? This is just what I heard originally, guys. That whoever broke the like, if David broke contract, like, he was going to have to pay Lewis back, like, a lot of money. A lot of money. He's going to have to pay him back between $250 to $500K, man, for breach of contract. So, but yeah, I think he's going to, 100%, I think he's going to not pay it. Yeah, no, you're right. You're good, Chris Calm. Yeah, no. It's for Harold Lewis. Settled it out of court, man. Which is even more shadier, you know? That tells Bitterness Barbie brought up a good point. Like, hey, that's probably saying, David, all the paperwork they were requesting, they didn't have it. Like, they couldn't show proof of anything they were probably saying. He will default on the court order. Have to sell the residential center, then brag about how he gave it up for the ministry. Yeah. Yep. Be like, oh, I had to give it up for the ministry. Yeah, no, David, he had to give it up because he had to pay the court fees and lawyer costs and settlement fees and stuff like that. Harold Lewis is going to get his money out of him. But I don't know. Maybe not. It just depends on how much money Lewis paid into his lawyers. A lot of money, probably. I know, right, Chris? But all right, guys, I'm gonna go and wrap it up there, man. Didn't want to run too long tonight, but we kind of went off chart here a little bit. And tonight, I just wanted to put it out there. There's abuse, child abuse going on inside these religious cults, man. Nobody's saying shit about it. It needs to be examined and paid attention to, I think. And the more we put it out here, the more people will start examining these religious cults and identifying the signs of child abuse that are going on from the start. And Israel brought up a good point. At what point does a child abuse start? And it's when you give your parental rights up to the church.